Why did a domestically produced fighter jet, once the subject of high hopes, turn into a fireball at a globally watched airshow? On November the 21st, 2025, the skies above the Dubai Airshow became the final stage for India's Tejas fighter jet. As this aviation dream, meticulously crafted by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, performed its aerial display, it suddenly lost control, trailing thick smoke as it plummeted toward the ground. The pilot tragically perished, casting a shadow over the airshow and sparking profound global doubts about India's aerospace capabilities. The sequence of events was breathtaking. According to aviation experts' analysis, the fighter jet abruptly rolled from a level flight into an inverted position before nosediving. Despite the pilot's desperate last-minute attempts to regain control, the aircraft's altitude was too low for any corrective action to succeed. Even the chance for an emergency ejection had vanished. Spectators witnessed the entire tragedy unfold as roaring flames and billowing smoke became the glorious fighter's final farewell. The airshow was immediately suspended. Over an hour later, performances resumed with displays by the Russian and UAE robotic teams. Yet an indelible sense of somberness lingered in the air. This Dubai appearance was intended to be a prime opportunity for India to showcase its aerospace prowess. India has long nurtured ambitions of becoming an aviation powerhouse, and the Tejas embodies this dream. Featuring a delta wing design without horizontal stabilizers, it is positioned as a 4.5 generation multi-role fighter, and holds the distinction of being the world's smallest and lightest supersonic fighter jet. The Indian military places great hopes in it, envisioning it as a replacement for aging MiG-21 fleets and a cost-effective alternative in the international arms market. However, the fighter's development journey has been fraught with challenges, from its inception in the early 1980s to its formal entry into service in 2016. It took a full 33 years, making it one of the world's longest-running fighter aircraft programs. More concerning is that this marks the second crash involving the Tejas in just over a year. On March 12, 2024, a Tejas crashed near Jaisalmer in India's Rajasthan state during a training mission due to engine failure, though the pilot successfully ejected. Subsequent investigations revealed that incident was caused by engine seizure resulting from a fuel pump malfunction. This prior history makes the Dubai tragedy all the more thought-provoking. The underlying causes may be far more complex than initially apparent. Aviation experts have proposed two possibilities: a technical failure in the control systems or pilot error. The Tejas employs computerized control systems, where a system malfunction could trigger an abrupt roll. Alternatively, the high-risk nature of airshow maneuvers might have led to misjudgments regarding altitude or attitude. However, deeper issues may stem from persistent technical flaws in the Tejas program. Aviation experts note the aircraft has consistently faced systemic challenges including engine integration difficulties, instability in its digital fly-by-wire control system, and lacks production quality control. In fact, prior to this airshow, a Tejas was observed leaking oil, though later clarified as merely condensation, an incident that exposed existing concerns about Indian fighter jet quality control. Notably, the Tejas serves as a veritable melting pot of international components, featuring a General Electric F404 engine from the US, Elta radar and missiles from Israel, Martin Baker ejection seats from the UK, and Russian cannons and missiles. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, primarily functions as an integrator and assembler. This import-dependent model has long subjected the Tejas program to supply chain constraints, particularly engine delivery delays that directly impact production schedules. Indian Air Force Chief of Staff Amartya Prit Singh has publicly voiced frustration over chronic delays in India's defense industry, stating, "I can hardly think of any project that has been completed on time after a schedule was set." For the Tejas Mk1 variant, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited signed a 480 billion rupee contract for 83 aircraft back in 2021, with deliveries originally scheduled to begin in March 2024. To date, not a single aircraft has been delivered. Political pressure is another factor that cannot be overlooked in the Tejas project. Under the Modi government's self-reliance and Make in India initiatives, the Tejas fighter jet has become a symbol of national pride. This political significance sometimes even overshadows technical considerations, potentially pushing the aircraft into the spotlight before it is fully mature. The Dubai Airshow serves as a stage for showcasing national technological prowess. India dispatched 3 Tejas aircraft to the event, aiming to demonstrate its capabilities to potential international buyers, only to encounter such a significant public relations disaster. In stark contrast, Pakistan's JF-17 Thunder Block 3 fighter, also unveiled at the Dubai Airshow, garnered far greater attention, sharing similar origins with the Tejas. Both developed as lightweight fighters during the 1980s, amid mass production of F-16s and MiG-29s, their fates diverged dramatically. The JF-17 has formed a fleet of over 100 aircraft in Pakistan, including more than 30 fourth-and-a-half-generation variants. Its combat performance has secured orders from countries like Azerbaijan. This stark contrast highlights the Tejas predicament. For the Indian Air Force, this crash is undoubtedly a heavy blow. The IAF faces a severe capability gap. Its current 31 fighter squadrons fall 9 short of the minimum air defense requirement, and the impending retirement of 230 MiG-21s within the year further exacerbates the crisis. Although the Tejas has secured orders for 123 units as a replacement, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited can only deliver 8 aircraft annually, far from meeting the demand. More critically, even the IAF's more advanced Su-30 MKIs and Rafale fighters suffer from low operational readiness rates, casting doubt on the Air Force's overall combat preparedness. From a broader perspective, this Dubai crash could mark a watershed moment for India's arms export ambitions. India has long sought to market the Tejas to countries like Malaysia and Argentina as a replacement for the MiG-21. Retired Indian Air Force Lieutenant General N. Tiwari once confidently stated, "India's advantage lies in production costs. If we manufacture it, the cost would be 1/3 or 1/4." However, as footage of the crash spreads globally, potential customers are likely to harbor deep doubts about the Tejas' reliability and safety. In the fiercely competitive international arms market, such tragedies often require years to repair the damage to credibility. Looking back at the Tejas' development journey, it embodies India's long-held aviation aspirations, yet has faced persistent criticism due to its protracted development timeline and recurring technical issues. The tragedy over Dubai represents not merely a technical failure, but a concentrated eruption of systemic problems within India's aerospace industry. As the Indian Air Force establishes an investigation committee to determine the cause of the accident, the world watches to see how India will learn from this setback and reassess its aviation development path. For potential buyers who witnessed the crash unfold, the fiery inferno that erupted in the Dubai desert may have permanently altered their procurement plans.